final thing I want to talk about, and we haven't really touched on this, is we are considered like the sandwich generation, right? Because we're still actively parenting, but then we've also become the caretaker of our parents as well. And that is a whole other type of stress. How did you do it?
Not well.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I didn't do it well. I did I have been talking to my dad every single day for about 20 years. I said that when my paternal grandmother died, that I knew it would upset him. So it's like
Mhm,
he was part of my routine. I talked to my mom every day
mhm,
for at least 10 years.
mhm,
Once she was diagnosed with that chronic illness and, when my grandmother was alive, it's like I try to touch base with
mhm,
everybody, at least on the phone, try to visit. But, dealing with your own stuff is hard. But it is, it's a lot,
mhm,
it's because I just felt like I'm stretching myself thin and I'm not doing a good job at any of it. I'm just
mhm,
like checking in here and there. And I
mhm,
mean, losing my mom recently, of course, there are regrets, but I truly did the best that I could. Like people are always like, you talk to your parents every day. And I'm like, I feel
mhm,
like that's the least we can do is just check in and I told you like my mom was my best friend. And it's funny because as you become an adult and you don't need your parents in the way that like your young adults need you.
mhm,
They need you for transportation. They need your money,
mhm,
they
mhm,
need you as a backup.
mhm.
I don't need my parents. I don't need anything from them. But it was like that's like one of my friends that I don't
Yeah,
have anymore.
yeah,
So that I'm grateful for, but it's hard. And then they don't
wow.
listen. They do what they want to do. It's very much the sandwich is
It
very
you don't
accurate.
have any leverage over them, like, you still
You
have some
don't.
sort of leverage over your kid. What leverage do you have over your parents? None!
Not my
They
dad
gonna do what
leaves
they
his
wanna
cell
do.
phone at home. He goes out and he leaves his cell phone at home.
In
I'm like,
2026, he leaves his cell phone at home?
he had to call
Oh, I
AAA because his car stopped. And I'm like, and how were you able to do that?
'cause they
Oh, I
don't
had
have
to go home and
iPhones.
no, he had to go home. He had to go. Like, I don't know what he did because he knew I was about to light into him about carrying
Yeah.
that phone. Yeah, it's like he does not listen.
Worse than kids, girl. That's worse than kids. Wow.
And we talked, I remember talking to you about my parents probably like 7 or 8 years ago.
Mhm.
And what did you say? You were like, I couldn't
I
do
couldn't
that.
even
I don't know how
imagine.
you do that. And I just remember thinking, I'm thinking, okay, I'm blessed because my parents are still here. And I really am. But it's a lot. It's a lot of
Wow.
responsibility. And when you said that, I was just like, it's so funny. It was a funny statement, you know?
I couldn't imagine it, Angel. Like, with having 6 kids and then having to have what would that have looked like? Like, I could not even wrap my mind around it, do you know? But I think you did a great job. I know you're never gonna give yourself the credit that you deserve because a large chunk of your adulthood and parenthood, you've also been managing other, the parental kids or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so I think you did great. Like, even how you managed to navigate, like, when your mom was in the hospital, like, figuring out that it would be best to stay down there. Like, who would think of that? Who would think, "Well, I'm gonna get a hotel just to put me closer," or most people would have been like, "Well, I just can't go today," or do you know what I'm saying? Like, you really did manage it all very well. So I think you need to give yourself more credit.
Yeah,
Um,
when it's life or death, you
or
will and dealing with
figure
Atlanta
it out.
traffic and the stress of that, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I got to get closer, whether it's the Airbnb or something like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Anybody would have done it. If
yeah,
you had you would have done it because it's like you have to be there. So
yeah, yeah. Well, I think that you did a great job.